You've probably heard the term parasocial relationship before, and this is something that really does stem a lot with content creators and people in their fan base. Multiple people have made videos saying things along the lines of, I'm not your friend, I'm just someone that puts content out there.
You shouldn't form a relationship with me. At the end of the day, I'm entertainment because I'm not your friend. I will never, ever hang out with you. And I don't care about you because I don't know you. I can't.
Yeah, well, I'm not your friend, and none of us are. But, I mean, you can drink still. You send a couple more TTSs, maybe I'll pretend.
And it's always a weird dynamic because, if anything, the content creators are funded solely by the people that watch their content, either through, giving them money through donations or like a Patreon.
I'm glad to inform you that I have found a girlfriend and we're both really happy. I'm outside her window right now and I'm going to go and kiss her in her sleep.
Oh.
But in most cases, you'll watch the ad and then we'll get pennies off that. But then if enough people watch, it becomes a livable income. So it's always been a very strange dynamic, but this could be one of the worst examples of a parasocial relationship going wrong. So around about a month ago, on the 11th of September, there was a Korean streamer called Yoonjia, and unfortunately, she was found dead. Now, this has been doing the rounds online, but it originally broke from the Korean streaming scene. Now, she was a huge personality in Korea. She had around 300,000 followers on TikTok. She'd post dancing videos, compilations of her day, and obviously streamed on TikTok. But then, just 30 minutes after she finished a stream, unknowingly, it would be her final time. The authorities reported that she died of strangulation, and her body was found in Muju County, which was 3 hours away of when she filmed her last live stream. Now, this is obviously a horrific story. I couldn't find any articles talking about her exact age, but it seems that she was in her 20s. And to make it even worse, her remains were actually found stuffed into a suitcase. Now, this story did happen a month ago, but recently, the past couple of days, there have been some huge updates and context to what actually happened here. And the context is terrifying because the person who has been accused of the crime of killing her was actually someone that avidly watched her and gave her a lot of money. So one of Yoonji's top donators was a user called Black Cat, and he was a VIP in her chat. He was ranked 46 out of 50, and he actually donated over 100 million won to her, which is around $73,000. And obviously, because of how much money he gave her, she was aware of his existence. At the time, he was posing in her chat basically as a CEO of a successful tech business. But apparently, that story wasn't true, and the guy was incredibly deep into debt. He apparently even convinced her at one point to join a business with him. Now, it's unsure whether that debt already existed or that debt actually came from the amount of money he donated to her, but he was basically in complete financial ruin. His house was actually seized by debt collectors and placed on auction. Now, it seems that aside from handing over his money, they were in a relationship, not romantic, but they knew each other. And apparently, according to Yoonji's family, she actually previously confided in them about his behavior, claiming that he was being incredibly controlling, he was coercive, and apparently overall just not a great presence. And before I get more into this story, like, parasocial relationships can really be terrifying because you can watch someone for such a long period of time and then think that you're friends. Most people, when they donate money to a streamer, realize that you're just funding them, you're not going to get it back, and it's a really nice gesture, which is appreciated. But some people actually end up twisting that into thinking that the streamer now owes you something, whether that be a friendship or in some cases a relationship. Now, there were people reporting that this Black Cat guy, he had like initial affection towards her, but that quickly turned into just a full-blown obsession, which is very obvious if you're donating over $70,000 to a single person. So apparently at one point, Yoonjia kind of realized how toxic this person was and was trying to get away from him, directly citing his behavior as a reason for this decision. And then you have this guy, I think the name that they used in like the news reports, I think his name was Choi. And he clearly wasn't happy about this because there was footage of him on his knees begging her not to leave. And then you can also see Yoonjia like forcibly stopped from exiting a car. And this car made 8 different stops on the way to Muju County. And Black Cat, or Choi, was actually seen holding a duffel bag and tape. And this was the last reported sighting of Yoonji-ah until her body was found 2 days later. Despite the delay between the disappearance and the finding of the body, Choi was actually arrested only 12 hours after the body was discovered. And initially, he did deny all the charges that were brought against him. So despite the fact that Choi was detained on the 13th of September, it's only now that he's actually directly admitted to committing the murder. And this isn't like they've got enough evidence, they found DNA. Like, no, this is him admitting it. And that is absolutely terrifying to think, because this was someone who was basically a fan who managed to get close to a female streamer that he was watching, and it just ended up being monstrous. I mean, unfortunately, in the streamer world, especially towards women, these parasocial relationships, these incredibly toxic ones, form so quickly. I mean, you've had streamers like Valkyrie, Cutie Cinderella, and they've basically pulled out of TwitchCon this year, you know, saying that they don't feel safe.
I'm kind of afraid to go to TwitchCon.
We're in a bit of a conundrum with TwitchCon.
I've been so anxious and scared and sad this whole past week with everything that's been going on.
Listen, it's not, I have...
It's not you, it's us.
It's not you, it's us.
And then you got other female streamers as well, like Pokimane, Lily Pichu, just, you know, expressing worries about it.
TwitchCon. Are we not going anymore? Are we still going?
I have an artist alley booth, but we have all the stuff.
So you're like really going?
Like I have to go, and
Okay.
I might cancel my meet and greet. I haven't told them yet, but I might do that because I think a lot of people are not, you know,
in the mood.
State of I'm just not in the mood to meet people lately. I heard Ray and Cutie are not going, and they canceled their.
When Ray told me that, that's actually what
You messaged me after.
Yeah, it concerned me enough to be like, should we be concerned?
And this then led to Twitch actually bringing in armed police to survey the event. That is insane precautions just to make sure basic safety for streamers. And this wasn't even like it was a one-off rogue event. This has happened before. Back in March, there was a streamer that was actually stabbed to death in Japan while they were IRL streaming. That was done by a hater who then basically proceeded to mock her corpse, asking things like, are you dead yet? And then there's been other streamer groups as well, like for example, FaZe Clan, and they were actually reporting that people had been coming to their house in the middle of the night with guns, asking where they are. And I think that's why it's so scary with streamers, because I mean, I can think of multiple examples of people that have like stalked, harassed like actual celebrities. I mean, I remember this one story, for example, of Harry Styles, and he had someone basically stalk him for, I think it was months, if not years, only because Harry Styles went up to the guy and talked to him for a little bit. And that guy instantly found a connection and a full-on obsession to the point that Harry basically had to sue him and then also have a security team at his house. There is an update to that story, by the way. A year ago, he was actually jailed because he would send 8,000 cards to Harry Styles every month. But I definitely would say streamers, especially IRL streamers, are so much more vulnerable. But celebrities as well also have the ability and the funds to basically hire a security team 24/7 to like ensure their safety. And do streamers have to do this now? IRL streamers? Because whenever you stream in public, you are basically showing your location 24/7. But yeah, I know this is a pretty morbid video compared to what I usually put out. You know, thoughts and prayers go to her family. And it just shows like how fucking terrifying situations like that can be.